Tomskik. Struyakova. Tomskik. With a really nice break to get swing it all the way across fields, and now they have different options, but some good defense from Austria doesn't let it happen. Back to Mul. That's the score. Nowakowski from Croatia. So now it's 3-1 Poland.
That was some very clinical and clean play from the Polish team. Not too many worries. I think there was number 77.
That's a Croatia.
Emmanuel Croatia was trying to communicate with his team to cut a bit more horizontally, just waving his arms around. But they got the score in nice and easily against an Austrian zone.
That was a pretty risky throw, that full swing all the way across the field, but it was just a nice, precise little flick, and it got there quickly. That's what they needed.
Austria now on offense. They've got Felix Meissner, Florian Kain, I believe, who is brothers with Benjamin Kain. Either that or it's a great coincidence they've got the same surname.
I think there might be some Austrian twins that I've heard about. This could be them.
And picking up the disc is Lena Rapotnik, I think. Yep, that is her indeed. To Julia Schmeisser. Great break throw to Felix Meissner. Florian Kain. Some contact on the throw. And miscommunication in the end zone. I think Schmeisser thought there was some sort of contact and a call. She maybe stopped in her tracks.
Yeah, he made the hand signal, but then they just continued to play, and I think he was hitting himself over that perhaps because he wasn't quite in his head, and then he threw away the disc. Nice little fake there. With the huck, the big huck from Duel. Oh, but the G.
Great defensive positioning from Florian Kain. Just out of the reach. Miscommunicated throw from Julia Hauch.
So now we have Poland's going to get the disc back. They're waiting for the Wrzoszyńska to pick up the disc. Wrzoszyńska, I'm getting that name. Monika Zaczkowska. Oh, incredible throw by Zaczkowska. That was just catching, incredible catch by Zaczkowska. Just beautiful. Beautiful throw back to Duel. To Wrzoszyńska. Back to Duel. Duel is my favorite just based on his name. Wrzoszyńska. Zaczkowska. Oh, we have an injury. Oh no, Duel is out.
Potentially hot feet. He looks like he's skipping along the sand. He's barefoot.
He might be one of the burning feet people. I don't know if the town of Royan has enough sand socks to fuel everyone, but you'd think that they might have looked into that issue before they came, checked the weather, run to the sporting goods store, got themselves some sand socks. It's really a shame. I have a pair, but I know they wouldn't fit Mr. Duel. But Poland recovers, and Urbanik with the score. So Poland up 4-1.
Poland really riding on this game. They're very, very fired up. And they have a very strong team ethos. They play for each other through and through for everything. Austria, quite well trained together. They've played a few warm-up tournaments. They played Valencia in Spain just to build some connections within the team. And then they played Bibiona, where they were the only team to beat Sweden mixed.
Wow.
In one of the pool games. They were 6-8 down and they won the game 9-8. And Sweden mixed are incredible. They're one of these teams that could potentially win the mixed tournament here.
Well, both our teams are solid teams. They have a lot to offer to this game, so.
Ernst just ducking for the disc there. Poland doing so well to shut down any cuts that Austria are in. We're in Callahan territory. It's just been tossed off to Nele Schüttpelz. Back into the hands of Patrick Zerlaut. It's been a very brief collision. Schüttpelz on disc again. She's completely unmarked as well. Either Poland are doing something poachy or her D is just completely unaware that she's on disc.
Well, you can't catch up at this point.
To Prevedel. Back to Ernst. To Zerlaut. To Dovitz. All the way over to Prevedel. Dovitz again. Really clean movement between the handlers here. They've isolated the women downfield. A round throw over to Schüttpelz. Austria taking their time here against this Polish defense. It's so difficult, and it's a beautiful break throw just outside the end zone. Can Austria just rein it in for an extra second to get onto the scoreboard?
And they do.
And they do beautifully. That was a score for Sandra Neely, number 4.
Yeah, Austria really just patient there the whole time, just waiting for their options, taking care of the disc, swinging it back and forth across the field, just waiting for their options. And Poland, it started off with such a strong defense, eventually they found their holes.
The score is now 4-2. You can see some of the hand signals there actually from the Polish team. In mixed, you have to call for a gender ratio depending on which end zone you're starting at. So Austria are calling 3 ladies with a hand signal of clasped hands just above the head. But you can also call 3 men to 2 women.
Yes. Looks like BULA got himself some sand socks somehow. I don't know why he wouldn't have been wearing them beforehand, but maybe he just was able to get a pair from someone.
Some lovely volunteers.
We got the quick hook up to Zachikowska. She's so fast. She's such a great receiver for this team. Monika Zachikowska. That was sent up there by number 9, Urbanik. Urbanik. So Poland with extremely quick point that Austria had to work so hard to get it up to there. And that was an upwind, so well, I guess sort of upwind.
Zachikowska seems to just get separation from her person so easily. She's got speedy little legs.
Yeah, and again, the little legs on the beach are useful. You can get open quick, and once you get open, they can't catch up to you. On the grass, someone with longer legs will catch up, but not on the beach.
We're currently trading the last 3 points, I believe. And Austria now on offense.
Poland is up 5 to Austria 2.
Ball being received by Lena Rapotnik. Florian Kain swinging across to the outstretched arms of Mesner. He's looking long, but he's not liking what he's seeing. Back to Rapotnik. Kain. There's been a foul call. Again, some excellent use of the hand signals, where a language barrier may be a bit tricky to overcome.
Well, I think most of the teams speak English pretty well. So talking. Let's duel back in there with his now with sand socks when before he didn't.
This call being quite heavily discussed. The disc is checked back in. Not very many options, and a miscommunicated around throw to give Poland the offense.
And Zaczykowska running way ahead, but they're not ready for her. Jewel is going to pick up the disc. I think he's like the captain of the team. Oh, look at that, Hawk. Beautiful throw from Jewel to number 73, Nowakowski. Really using the full field there. The outside in, Huck.
That's some of the clinical play that we see from Poland. They're a very aggressive and gritty team. You can see them here just moving the disc to the other side of the pitch. That's the type of play that they like. They'll move the disc on one sideline and then suddenly they're on the other side of the pitch. Completely unaware of what's going on for the defensive team. It looks like they've been taking a timeout now.
Yeah, the Poland team looks so incredibly athletic. They have these huge, fast men with good throws. Their women aren't necessarily that tall, but they're really strong players and really fast. So their athleticism, I think, is really what's getting to the Austrians.
If you're any of our viewers out there wanting to contact either of us, you can contact us through Twitter. My Twitter handle being @_GG17. That's GEEGEE. You can ask us any sort of questions, or you can just heckle us. We might give you a shout out on the live stream, depending on how appropriate it is.
Polish viewers, I would love to get your feedback on my pronunciation. I'm really doing my best, and I would like to hear how that's going.
Any phonetics would be great too.
And I only learned the last name, so let me know if I could use some help with the first names as well.
What are you expecting from either of these teams coming out of this timeout?
Me? Well, I think Austria is just giving themselves a pep talk, a much-needed one, because they've been struggling a bit, trying to find their game, find out how they can play against this extremely athletic, enthusiastic Poland team. Because Poland really has the mojo at this point. They have the momentum. They have the excitement. Austria's calling for 3 women, because these men are huge and fast, so that might make some sense. Austria is going to rely a little bit more on their women with their nothing against the Austrian men, but there's some height differences there.
Austria so far having a fairly good tournament. They had a win against Portugal. It was first seed in their pool.
Really? They had a win against Portugal? I hadn't heard that. Was that today?
I was told that they've had a win against Portugal. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone watching.
Your source is better than mine, most likely. My source is just assumptions.
This is Austria coming out on offense. Davids on disc. All the way across.
Oh, look
and
at
a beautiful long shot. And red by the Austrian player, Neely. In the hands of Meissner. Across to the center from Schmeisser. Schmeisser looking for Meissner in the end zone, is just out of his hands.
It looks like he began to look at his feet, and that just made him take his eye off the disc, and who knows if he would be able to get it in. So,
beautifully defended by Schmeisser.
Beautiful. Huge D by Schmeisser.
A redemption for Meissner there.
That was an exciting point for Austria. They really changed up their play there. They played much smarter, had some really beautiful throws, and just wanted it more. I just didn't see that amount of a desire in them in the previous points, so that was exciting to see.
Poland calling 3 men onto the line, trying to utilize their height and speed. Both of these teams probably going to be quite tough to face up to. The score is currently 6-3 to Poland. Poland could potentially take the half if they have a very clean offensive line here.
All right, Poland bringing it up. Center the disc to Strykova. Wrzoszinska in the middle. Oh, a little bit too much of a push. Strykova could not get it down in her hands, so that was a turn from Poland.
Austria just taking their time. Patrick Zalaus walking up to the disc. He's got a very poachy dumb, but it's a long shot to the end zone. Picked up by Benjamin Kine. Well read, and Poland is signaling that as a goal. That was incredibly well done.
Really exciting point there. So Poland a little frustrated with that with their defense there, I think. Austria getting it a little closer.
And there's our long shot again. Sprints for days. He could have run that from miles down. And hopefully Austria just picking up the momentum a little bit more. Poland never losing the momentum. And the pull coming off for Poland. Collected in the center and dumped off.
So Poland trying to work up the disc. We've got Koyata here who came off the sideline with burning feet. It's so hot. Now we have got the turn.
Dovitz to Zelaw. Straight into the end zone for Hintner. Poland just losing out on some of those discs by an inch. And Austria riding on the high.
Yeah, that was three quick points from Austria. So whatever they did in their timeout, I think they really got their game together a bit. Because now it's a close game. Before, Poland had all the momentum, and Austria is now showing what the team that they are.
You just see that disc slip out of the hands of the Polish player. And Austria capitalizing on all of their mistakes to get their third break in a row to bring the score up to 6-5 to Poland. This is a much closer game now.
I mean, well, 3-point streak there, right, from Austria. So what was a 4-point lead is now 1. So Poland's going to be working up the disc, trying to recover. Wrzoszinska. Oh, incredible grab by Tomczyk. To Nowakowski. To Zaczekowska again. Oh no, Strykova. That was Strykova, not Zaczekowska. Yeah, Strykova with the run down the field, the easy throw to her.
Hugs everywhere on this Polish team as they've taken half. At 7-5. The game is still open, I'd say.
Yeah, anything can happen at this point.
And there was that lovely bid. Trying to get a defensive play. What a shot to the end zone to Strykova.
So we have the half now. So Austria walking down the field to take the half. And Poland maintaining their position on top, 7-5. Poland not eager to take the field.
We're going to take a quick commercial break now. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to the World Championships of Beach Ultimate in beautiful Royan, France, on the west coast. You're watching Poland versus Austria in the mixed division. And Austria are going to be coming out on offense.
So Austria has a chance now to get the game closer again.
On the line, they've got Sandra Neely, Felix Messner, Thomas Rövedel, Leon Dovitz, and Lina Rapotnik. That pull soaring into the end zone and straight off to
running down
Lina.
hard to put the force down there. That was a hard run downfield by Zawata.
Dovitz looking for any options available to him. Just tosses it off to Thomas. A low grab, dished off. This Polish defense doing well to retain the disc and just to slice through. Over to Felix. Back over to Rövedel, long shot into the end zone for Rapotnik. That's the first score into after the first half here.
So Austria is really turning it back up in the last, I guess the second half of the first half and into the beginning of the next. We're definitely taking it up a notch and making this a much tighter game for Poland.
Austria just trying to take their time. They know what the Polish defense wants. They want to retain the disc within the handlers and stop them from moving downfield. And it's incredibly effective. It's shut down many teams before.
Yeah. Poland trying to boost the team up, point Polska, Polska. Proszkowska with the disc again. Back to Tomczyk. So apparently most of the Poland players are on the World Games team. They'll be hosting the World Games, so they're going to have some really tight competition up ahead of them, so they've been training hard for this. Talking about the disc, whether it was up or down.
It looked up to me, to be honest.
Let's see if we can see it here. Yeah, looks good from here, but of course they don't get to see the replay, so they just have to talk about it. It's up, disc is up, hand signals, disc is up. Ah, what a nice throw there. Swing the disc to Wrożynska. To Tomczyk.
Oh, and a hand block.
Hand block.
From Jonathan Rosel. Austria just flying down the field and it's bobbled out of the hands of the Austrian player.
That was thanks to the tough defense by Nowakowski getting in there, making it hard. That's just enough pressure to get him to bobble the disc there. Moros and Wrożynska. Gosh, she had to be a handler, didn't she?
You're doing really well, don't worry.
Looking for the options. They really like that cross-field. Incredibly risky throw, but they're using it all the time. Just swinging it right across the field, back and forth. Forget the middle handler. Oh, nice bid, but too much from Tomczyk. I don't know. I just don't think that's the smartest throw to do over and over again. At some point, they're going to get a defender to push there, or they're just going to have to push it a bit too much to get it all the way across the field with the defense. And you can see there that just didn't work for them at the end.
It's something that Poland does so well, though. They attack the break side with absolute gusto and everything that they've got.
Yeah, no fear at all of breaking the mark.
Patrick on disc. Over to Brosel. Up to Kain and back to Patrick, and there's a streaking Austrian player just out of the reach of her hands.
Completely gratuitous layout.
Schmeisser just trying to get any sort of bid that she can on that disc. And that was actually confirmation of your pronunciation from Kat Gale over in the UK. Wife of Luke Tobiasovich, who's currently playing for GB Mixed Masters.
Thank you very much, Kat. I appreciate that. I'm doing my best here. What is this, a timeout? So, looks like timeout has been called.
Poland have lost a little bit of their composure. They're spraying water over each other to keep each other cool. They've actually got a little water gun. Very, very clever idea. I think we're going to take a little bit of a commercial break for now, so we'll see you in a few minutes.
All right, so we're still in the timeout here. No, as we were saying before, so Poland is hosting the World Games this year. Did you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, the World Games is a tournament. It's a collaboration of very many sports, and they have some of the best teams across the world from the mixed division, including the US and Australia, plus the home team Poland, all playing together for a title. And a lot of this Polish team here is playing for the World Games team. So it's a lot of strong talent coming from this Polish side.
And they're going to be having to compete against the five other teams?
I think it's six.
The six total, including Poland. Okay, so the 5 top teams in the world, basically, and against Poland. So, and I can see now they've put a good squad together for that.
And the disc is back in now.
Oh, and the turn. Zhozhinska could not quite get that disc. So that was a turn from Tomczyk.
It's a very short play here. I think Schmeisser is going to go for the disc. They're just outside of the end zone. And a quick toss over the top. And a quick celebration from Patrick Velzalau.
Well, Austria getting it closer together again, so now it's a 6-7 game. Poland is still in the lead, but Austria is really close behind. Oh, I'm sorry. I just completely said that wrong. It's a tied game now. Tied game, Poland versus Austria, 7-7. I think it's the first tie we've had of the game, right? So, yep. So the first tie of the game. And Austria really turned it up in this half. So, Gigi, what do you think is happening with Poland at this? What do they need to do differently?
I feel like they need to gain the composure a little bit more. They're throwing some discs that they wouldn't necessarily do, and it's almost always out of the reach of the receiver. They're trying to drag out the defense further than they're really anticipating. And obviously that's causing some very critical turnovers. Great bladey pull from Austria there.
Yeah, very effective. And the risky decision to catch it. So Urbanik got a little bit of contact there. Resetting. Oh. We're just going to discuss it for a moment.
It's an uncontested foul. Just fumbled out of the hands there.
Mikael Duhl, the captain.
Austria now taking their time. Leon Dovitz on disc. Looking to swing straight across to Nele Schüttpelz. And against the other side of the pitch to Felix Messner. Inside shot has just
How did he catch that? How did he catch it? He had two Polish defenders right there. The Austrian player was able to grab that right away from them.
That was Benjamin Kine intercepting two Polish defenders, just squeezing his way through a narrow gap. That brings the score up to 8-7. This is the first time that Austria have pulled ahead.
Wow, exciting point. That was a really good defensive effort, but Austria just snagged that disc, kept it for themselves.
And you can watch that beautiful offensive play again. With Felix on the disc, inside shot and intercepted through two Polish defenders.
Great grab. That might be the grab of the game. I think that might be the grab of the game. We'll see. Not super acrobatic, but... Oh no, we had that one from Strielkova before. I think that was so good. Poland working it up. Handler's trying to get open. Austria's playing a tight defense. A little bit of a bump, a little bit of bump. Really able to use the full field again, just throwing it across the field without being too much concern. Austria is really giving him a wide open space in the inside of the field. I love those curvy flicks. Urbanik. Back to Urbanik. No, he didn't get it. Gorostiza to Urbanik. Back to Nowakowski. Who scored that? What number? Stanjevic. Stanjevic grabbing the score. So that was an important goal for Poland. Tied this back up. Stopped the bleeding.
Poland, you can see here how creative they are with their throws. Mostly opting for very unorthodox options. You can see some of the around shots across the pitch, like that backhand there. And the around flick into the end zone for number 12, just eating it up. Quite literally, he almost had the disc in his mouth.
So we got some corrections earlier. The World Games that are happening, they're most of the federations are only sending separate teams from the U.S. I'm sorry, separate teams from grass and beach. So if you went to Beach Worlds, you're not going to the World Games team. And we don't know if Poland is in that category or not. So if you know, you can let us know. Or whether these players were just training with the World Games players. So I can't read that. Yes, okay, we just got the clarification by Twitter, so they're not playing on the World Games teams. They've just been training with them, giving them a good workout. And I know at least one of the U.S. players, Mad Dog Nazarov, was supposed to play with the beach women's here, but I think now she's playing World Games instead.
Austria on offense now with a very deep stack. It's Thomas Fevedel. Over to Felix. Taking his time. Over to Nina Hintner. Living in the UK. All the way across to Leon Dovitz. There's been some sort of bid.
Wow, that was
an
amazing
block.
layout hand block there from the captain from the captain, Mikael Dul. That was exciting. I like a layout hand block.
Here we can watch that all again. So clean. He managed to just completely disregard his hand.
Yeah, it might not quite have technically been a layout. It was more like just a full-on extension reach and then just fell off afterwards. Kawata. So much running from him in this game. Nowakowski. Droshinska. Oh, tricky throw, but we've got that really tall Nowakowski to bring that down. Droshinska doing so much for this team. Definitely going to make me learn her name. Polska's very, very excited about that as they got their lead back 9-8.
You can probably hear them on the live stream. They're very, very loud. They try to work for each other, everything for each other. And here's that block again. Very well intercepted without any sort of contact.
Yeah.
And the tall body in the end zone there from number 73.
Nowakowski. Yeah, it's amazing to have such a tall body get so low to the ground to be able to pull off that block. So let's see what Poland's got in the defense here.
To Schmeisser. Centered. Oh, sorry, that's Schmeisser on this now. Opotnik moving it between the Austrian players. Lovely inside shot to Opotnik. Just looking downfield and not having very many options. And just getting it off to Florian. Looking long to the end zone. An inside shot and it's contested, but he's got it. That was number 23, Patrick Zalaud.
Such nice cutting there. Such nice cutting. You could see his thrower did not have the shot that he originally wanted. So he cut to the other side and got the beautiful, perfect throw that just kept leading him away from his defender.
This Austrian team is pretty much from all around Austria, but there are two main mixed clubs. There's Wunder team and Chuck Bronson. Many of these players playing for both of those teams. Then you have players like Nina Hittner, who's living in the UK, playing for SICK Ultimate in London. SICK actually were in Windmill as well last weekend, finishing very, very well in 4th place after a universe point finishing final against the French team Yaka.
I was once on a pickup team of an international type pickup team that had a very strong game against Yaka at Windmill, and they won, and we beat them, and there was tears in this third circle. It definitely came as a surprise, but they wound up doing really well after that. So, and I think that was the highlight of our tournament.
The soft cap being called in just under a minute now. About 30 seconds left until soft cap.
So a tied match here, another really close game on field 1 today. Nice defensive bid. Oh, excellent catch by Kawata. Oh no, Droshinska was just a little too low for her. Kawata had that beautiful catch, but he had the conservation of greatness by making just a risky, just a difficult throw to catch. And Droshinska, who's had such great hands, just could not get it.
I believe that soft cap now going off. And Austria might be able to capitalize on this with their offensive line. Davids on this, sending it deep to the end zone. Just out of the reach.
Wow, just sailing it. That was just a bit of excitement there.
He looks devastated there, covered in sand.
Maybe the winds have just changed. Suddenly what was an upwind throw just became a sail.
Soft cap having just gone off. That means that we'll finish this point and add another one on, so this will be a game to 11 regardless because of these teams being tied.
Polska definitely winning the spirit cheering section of the game. I don't know what the on-field spirit is like, but the cheering each other on. Austria quiet and determined. Urbanik with the huck up to Kawada, who is so tall, and great defense there. Really great defense from Zerluth. No.
Sorry, that was Felix Mesner. It's quite difficult to see some of the numbers on the back of these shirts here.
They're covered in sand in the front.
Here we get to see that defensive positioning again. He soars up above a very tall Polish player.
Yeah, I think Kawada, they thought that Kawada would be an easy shot there. They weren't counting on that. His Austrian defender to have such great positioning there.
I think that's Benjamin Kine taking an injury call. He is very sandy at the moment. He looks like a sandman. Looks
like a sandman. It might maybe helping keep him cool. Oh, now they're going to pour water on him to get some of that sand off him.
It is quite tricky once you get some of the sand and the sweat in your eyes. It's very
horrible.
Difficult to see.
Horrible.
Leon Dovitz on disc. Straight up.
And
easily
Kawata
received.
Didn't even try to get it.
Just bringing it across to the sideline. Patrick Zelaut looking to the end zone to get the score. Bringing it to 10-9 to Austria. This could be exciting.
10-9, game to 11. So Austria with only their second or third lead of the game, up by 1. A really perfect throw. Kawata had no play on it whatsoever.
Here we get to see that score again. Some really tight Polish defense. They're trying their hardest to shut everything down, but Austria managed to attack the break side, as both of these teams have done again and again so well. I think most of these scores have been on the break side rather than just a simple open side shot, and that's credit to both of their defense.
Good point, Gigi, good point, yeah. But definitely defense is taking away the easy throws, and these teams are showing that they have no trouble breaking it. So the captain, Duel, hands it back to Urbanik. More of those threading the field. Really nice handler action. Oh, that's not going to be easy to catch. A little too much. That was from, Tomczyk. I've been calling him the wrong name. Tomczyk, number 21. Just kind of pushed that a bit too much. They really want to do those cross-field throws, and they're not always easy.
That's the type of throw that we've seen all day, unfortunately. Just a forehand, and the underside of the disc catches the wind, and it sails off, coming towards us where the wind is blowing.
You know, they just need to use their handlers, swing the disc, and get the better option.
Swinging across the pitch. He's got time to receive that. Thomas Brevede. Not very many options coming under. He's very bare. Manages to squeeze it down the sideline to Patrick Zalaut. And a hammer into the end zone. And has it been towed? It's a score.
And Duel, the captain, calling that out as a score. He had the good angle on it, and it was clearly up, but it was up, but it was hard to tell, and it was good to see him say, no, that was definitely up, and that was the winning point for Austria.
Let's have a look at that again. The left-handed thrower there, just putting the hammer into the end zone beautifully.
It just really doesn't look catchable, and yet it is. Really, really exciting way to end the game. And Austria, who had not been up more than 1 point this entire game, I don't think, suddenly up 2 to win it. What a game. So I can see now why Austria beat Portugal, if that is in fact the case, because maybe they just conserved their energy a bit at the beginning. checked out the Poland team, let the Poland team run hard, and just took their time and came back and took care of the game.
And I think Poland did really exactly the opposite. Poland put in all of their energy in the first few points, and it came out in their favor. They managed to rack up the first 2 points, bringing it to 2-0, and then taking half at 7-5. But all of their energy was just not enough. Not enough for this Austrian team, unfortunately. But we've seen some incredible defense from both sides.
Well, that was a really exciting game, and I think Poland's going to be excellent hosts for the World Games coming up. The total of 6 teams, just some of the top players in the country, the top players in the top countries.
We're going to start seeing some of the highlights from this game, which we have many of, thankfully. Some incredible bids.
Oh, look at that. That was at the very beginning. Ah, such a gorgeous catch there. That might be my favorite. Oh, so many of these one-handed, just high up in the air catches.
Beautiful inside shot to Zalaut. A game full of bids, full of aggression, and so many blocks.
And there's that hand block, the lay down hand block.
And our final final play of the game.
A hammer just barely in bounds. So much excitement. Well, that was a great game. What's coming up next? We have,
I believe our next stream game is going to be Spain, Estonia women's, and that is going to be at 6:20 French time. So I'm not sure what time that will be wherever you are.
So that was the end of this game. We have Austria 11, Poland 9. Final score. Thank you so much. My name is Liz Garfinkel.
And I've been Gigi Morrison.
And she continues to be Gigi Morrison. And we will we'll see you again here soon on the pitch.